Hello players! Today in this video we are going to do a little review about an object that has been highly appreciated over time regardless of whether you are young or an adult man. I know that you will like this video. Today we will talk about a wonder made by man. Today we will talk about the Xbox in its most recent version, and it is X series. It cannot be denied that over time video game companies produce increasingly advanced products designed with the latest technologies, offering consoles and video games with the best quality for the public. According to a survey carried out by Newzoo, a company dedicated to statistical analysis, whose headquarters are located in the country of the Netherlands, estimates that 2.500 million people, about a third of the world's population, currently enjoy this hobby. The percentage is even higher if only the population of the European Union is taken into account. 54% gamble according to the numbers of the Interactive Software Federation of Europe. But not only are there more gamers, but they form a much more diverse group. From the stereotype of the white and young male, there has been a change to a much more transversal profile in which there are children, adults and older people from different social strata. And of course, both men and women. In Spain, 52% of video gamers during 2021 were men, of which 15% were between 25 and 34 years old, a reality that is repeated in the professional field, since the female presence in the workforce of companies in the sector represents less than 20%, and according to data from the video game industry, the user is usually male, middle, high class, with between the age of 20 and 30 and spend 25% of their leisure budget. In addition, according to the sector, more than 40% of Spanish users play every day and 70% do so at home. Its predecessor was released to the world for the first time on October 18, 2001 at the largest video game convention in the world called E3. This is a convention where multiple companies teach the players their most recent release and also talk about the latest developments in software and hardware. This console had many difficulties in its beginnings since Microsoft wanted to compete against companies like Nintendo, where it had a great domain over other companies and at the time was the king in terms of video games and console sales. At the end of the year 2020, more precisely in the month of November, the new generation consoles go on sale, among them the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. In this video, comparison will be made between these consoles to see which is the best option in terms of quality and price for people who wish to acquire them, and in the end I will give my opinion on which console seems better to me. So let's go with the video. In both video games consoles we can detail a brutal change in terms of design, thus breaking with its scheme in which it was not very new in previous generations, thus making a before and after in their history. Cooling system on design. In the Xbox we can notice a quite remarkable change in terms of its design. It is very minimalist compared to the PlayStation. Since the announcement about the console and its design, it has caused a great stir on social networks, since this has been a source of ridicule on the parts of internet users, generating memes about it. In addition, it is true that the PlayStation has designed much better than the Xbox, but this has a reasonable reason, and that is that due to this monolithic design, overheating of its component is avoided, thus giving better performance and avoiding the noise generated by the fans compared to its competition, since the Xbox has lower noise and better cooling system than the PlayStation. Although the latter has not gone unnoticed due to its design, it has also been a source of ridicule on social networks, in which memes have been generated about it. The PlayStation 5 has the most beautiful design, much better than the Xbox Series X, because Sony wanted to implement a futuristic feel to their console, making it look like a spaceship along with the lights. Storage. It cannot be denied that as time goes by, there are more advanced in technology and storage units cannot be left behind, and thanks to this, both consoles have chosen to use this type of unit. Xbox and PlayStation have the most common ones, using between them M2 solid-state drive, where the Sony console has double the performance and greater fluidity than the competition, reaching 5.5 GB per second for the 2.4 GB per second of Xbox Series X, and in compressed, and that is reached to 9 GB per second compared to 4.8 GB per second of Microsoft. But yes, the latter has greater storage capacity with a size of 1 TB of space, unlike the 825 GB that the PlayStation offers. And in addition to that, it has support or bay that allows you to insert in an additional hard drive, although the other has another input to connect more into solid state drive. Microsoft console has better storage capacity than that of Sony company. Backward compatibility. It is well known that time is a determinant for everything in our environment to evolve sequentially, and the world of console is not far behind. Additionally, over the years, it has been shown that the more generations in terms of console it is said, the higher the level of features and components increases, hoping to improve its evolution by sticking to the trends in terms of software and hardware. In this part, mention will be made of backward compatibility and the great benefits that it brings over consoles. The Xbox Series X has a huge backward compatibility, much greater than the PlayStation 5, since it allows you to play video games from its first generation consoles, such as the Xbox Classic, to the most current Microsoft console, and on the Sony console it only allows you to play video games on the previous generation console, where it only runs PlayStation 4 games. But unlike Xbox, this one has a lot more exclusive games than the competition. Graphics Processing Unit (GPU). In how much in the graphics section the new generation consoles are not far behind today, you can see a great advance in the technologies offered by multiple companies dedicated to the graphics sector, such is the case of the Nvidia and AMD brand. In the latter mentioned, AMD is in charge of developing all the graphics chips for the previous and new generation consoles. In this case, we are going to see the characteristics offered by the new range of graphics chips. In the case of Xbox, it takes the lead within these components, and AMD offers as greater capacity in terms of the graphic processor of this console, handling a speed of 12.16 teraflops and 52 CUDA cores at 1.825 GHz, although the PlayStation 5 has the same number of core, handling 10.28 teraflops and 36 CUDA cores at 2.23 variant frequency. The Xbox has more capacity in teraflops handling and higher speed in handling information during graphics processing. In addition to that, handles ray tracing technology much better than its competition, since it allows a much better polishing of details in terms of light reflection, giving it a more realistic touch. Additionally, it allows the improvement of the textures that make up the video game. The Xbox Series X has more graphics power than the PS5. Price comparison between consoles. The year 2019 was not very good, to say with the war, as is well known. That was the year in which everything related to the issues of the new disease COVID-19 exploded. Many people lost their jobs due to the collapse generated by this disease, since it forced multiple companies and small business to close their doors and over time limit their functions in order to mitigate the damage caused by it. In additionally, it caused a great economic crisis worldwide, and thanks to this, the companies that made this themselves decided to lower price since the economy on the planet was through the roof. At the end of the year 2020, Microsoft presented at the E3 convention the announcement of the new generation console called Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S, where not only its characteristics are mentioned but also its price. There is a huge difference in the price of these new consoles. Unlike its competitors, it has much lower price compared to the Sony console in the low-end versions. The Xbox Series S is priced at €299 and the PlayStation 5 digital version is cost €399, and the high gamma ones cost in the case of the X and the PS5 they cost similarly, and that is why the Xbox Series S console is considered the best console in what it runs from the year 2022. In terms of price, the PS5 digital version is much more expensive than the Xbox Series S, a comfortable price according to the budget of the party. The warranty is also a fundamental part in the sale of this, since it allows users to have greater security when purchasing these products, although but decided to give a graded warranty in terms of their predecessors. They only gave a 1-year warranty, now increased it to 3 years, but the Xbox Series X has a better warranty than the PlayStation 5. It also includes excellent customer service, since Microsoft has qualified personnel not only in the speaking mechanically like other companies, but also handling an excellent human talent, satisfying customers with the solution to various problems quickly and very efficiently. Controls. With the PS5 controller, we can feel the full experience that this control can give you. Haptic vibration is wonderful because it gives you a lot more feedback and gives you information if you're being shot and where you're being shot from. If you're hitting the wall and you release, you are not hitting the enemy but gives and you're a bouncy fall of the bullet against the wall simply because of the way and bounce. And then we have the adaptive triggers, which present you with a resistance that varies depending on the video game. And not only that, it can be said the PS5 controls have better system of triggers and a more realistic vibration than the Xbox. It also has speakers and microphone that allows you to speak and listen to what happens when you play. Therefore, the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S do not have these characteristics. The PlayStation controller has more elements than the Xbox. The controls of the Microsoft console have a better presentation in their packaging than that of Sony, since it gives a better presentation to the control, giving the user a visual sensation and that is very pleasing to the eye. Since this box highlights the control as if it were a marble, if it were an exhibition of these products. On the other hand, the PlayStation 1 is very likely to sell it like any other product without more. The Xbox has better packaging than the PS5. The designs are not far behind in the control of both companies, although the Sony console has a multiple variety of colors with only 8. That is why the Xbox has an exorbitant amount but of colors and of design. Microsoft offers a better amount of custom controls and also offers exclusive controls much better than Sony's console. There are details that have to be taken into account, such as the quality of the materials in which the controls are made, and the cover is no exception, since the controls that are currently made in this console are more resistant than their predecessors, since it comes with a material that is much more resistant to shocks, since unfortunately video games offers often experience and control
falling almost constantly, which is why companies decided to focus and improve their quality and duration. Previously, it happened that if a control failed, it was already unusable in most cases. Case quality. This has shown that it has a resistance just like its controls. There is a guy on YouTube whose channel is called FrameRoad124. He demonstrates the great resistance to shocks that these consoles endure, and not only he managed, but in the refrigerator for a while, and after a while I took it out of there and plugged it back in, and it still worked great. This demonstrates the quality of the new generation Microsoft consoles in terms of manufacturing materials. This same guy did the same thing with the PS5 console, got much more damage compared to the Xbox console. That's why the Xbox has better quality case than the Sony consoles. Video games. Thanks to the constant growth that Microsoft has in the world, it has allowed it to have the acquisition of companies such as Activision and Blizzard. Due to this purchase that was made now, you can exclusively play games like the Call of Duty Saga, World of Warcraft, and many more games. This also has a pass that is paid monthly and allows you to play many video games. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video regarding backward compatibility, Sony has many games from its predecessor, the PS4, but on the Xbox you can play video games from its previous generation console, such as the Xbox Classic, Xbox Series X Zero, and Xbox One. Therefore, it has much better backwards compatibility than the PS5 console. Where can this product be purchased? The incredible thing about this product is that it can be purchased in multiple stores such as Éxito supermarkets, Falabella digital stores such as Mercado Libre, and much more. As for the PlayStation 5, it is much more difficult to get than the Xbox since they are always sold out, and if you search online, they sell out very quickly because very few units are sold. Microsoft has the biggest sales and is much better than Sony's console. Which console do users prefer the most? Although there are many divided opinions, people have a preference for buying an Xbox because they mention that it is easier to acquire one due to its low price in the two versions of these consoles, and not only that, they have more exclusive games than the PS5, and in addition to that, when you purchase the Game Pass, you can play multiple titles including many exclusive games. What alternative can users have? In the video game market, there are many brands that, although they do not have the same popularity as their competition, can offer an almost similar game quality, such in the case of the Nintendo Switch. This is a portable console which offers a large number of titles from the Nintendo company, and not only that, it also offers titles that are played on PC and Xbox. The incredible thing about this console is that it not only allows you to play in a portable way, but also that it has a device called dock, in which it allows you to connect the console to the television and view it in better image quality. The Nintendo Switch is very different from other companies since it allows up to 4 players to play. but yes, you should buy additional controls, but this does not prevent you from having fun with many friends. Opinion of a website about which console is the best. Conclusion: Xbox Series X has better hardware than PS5. As we can see, Xbox Series X is better in almost everything compared to PlayStation 5. The only thing that PS5 has better it is SSD, which is faster, although it has a little less capacity. My personal opinion. To finish, I will give my opinion about the product. I will not only describe the good things about this console, but also talk about its negative aspects and what I really did not like. First, the good. Cooling system and its components. The good thing about this console is that it allows you to play many hours of games, since it has a good cooling system, thus cooling all its components from the graphics card to run the processor and the other components of the console. In addition to that, as I mentioned before, the console has better graphic performance than the PlayStation 5, managing a good rendering system around graphics. As an additional, it has better ray tracing system, which give more realistic to the like within video games, and the embroidery of the object includes within a video game and has a very good RAM memory around 16 gigabytes, being more powerful than the PS5. This console has video output in 8K quality, giving a more realistic and better detailed image quality in the video game environment. Controls. In its controls, a texture was added to the triggers to give a better grip and not let go. Additionally, it has a longer charge than the PS5, offering a greater amount of time in charge. Storage. In terms of storage, it has more than its competition, since it has 1 terabyte storage. It also has a port in which you can add a hard drive with the same amount of space, as well at the same amount of internal memory the Xbox. Second, the bad. Storage. Although its internal memory capacity is very good, with a 1 terabyte and 2 NVMe SSD hard drive, it cannot be changed for one with better storage capacity, because this type of hard drive and this technology is very expensive, just like the PlayStation. It is already well known that the Xbox has a bay in which another 1 terabyte storage unit of the CK brand could be inserted, and there are very many extensive in addition to that. It only has a storage capacity like internal of 1 terabyte. Control. Although this one has a longer duration in its control, but compared to tools of its competition, I add many things that make them incredible. Although it does not handle longer duration in its batteries and triggers, system was added that makes you feel the shot moments and other things in a realistic way, where you can feel as if you have the elements of any games in your hands. In the case of shooting video games, you can feel in the triggers as if you were pulling the triggers of a gun through, giving you a sense of touch with the gaming environment. Because of that, PlayStation 5 has better quality of railings in the controls than tools of Xbox. Cooling system and its components. As mentioned above, not everything can be rosy, and regarding the cooling of this its component, it is no exception. Although has a single large fan to cool your entire car and its components, it is not quite enough, since on many occasions it usually says 50 degree, and this can cause damage due to the rise in temperature. Unlike the PS5, this one also has very high temperatures and makes a lot of noise in its cooling fan. Therefore, it can be said that the PS5 fan is much louder than the Xbox.